Hey guys, it's Lizard here, and welcome back to another video on the channel, or welcome if it is in fact your first time here. Today's video is all about 3 quick and simple things that will help you improve your GODBRIDGE instantly. These are things that won't take any of your money, much of your time at all, and literally by the end of this video you'll have 3 things that you've improved upon if you haven't fixed these already. I definitely recommend going and checking these out because they will help you drastically. So yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to talk about, obviously very simple, basic one, but I have to get out of the way because too many people ask about this one, and I think it's really just, it needs to be brought up, right? But it's debounce time. You can change the debounce time of most mice, and you bring it down to 4 milliseconds, because I think it defaults to around 10 or 12, which is fine for regular games and clicking in Minecraft. But if you want to drag click and double click in GODBRIDGE, you're going to want to bring that debounce time to exactly 4 milliseconds, because anything lower can get banned on a lot of servers. So once you've brought your debounce time all the way down to 4 milliseconds, this will help you be able to get more registered clicks when you're GODBRIDGing. Your short drag clicks will actually register more for each block you place. This is going to be huge for consistency and actually learning the movement, because without it, it's much harder to GODBRIDGE because you're getting less CPS registered, and that's going to drag down on your times overall because you're going to fall off a lot more often if your CPS is lower, obviously. The second thing I wanted to bring up in today's video is view bobbing. View bobbing is something I used to have on when I started learning to GODBRIDGE, but it's actually just, it's terrible. And I really regret that I ever had it on, and a bunch of people told me to turn it off, but I really didn't know what it was or why it was so bad. But the second I turned it off, it changed my life. So on screen right now, I'm going to show you a comparison of view bobbing versus view bobbing turned off, and you can just see how much of a difference it really makes, because GODBRIDGing is all about lining up your placement. And while the view bobbing's not actually going to mess with your muscle memory, it makes your screen shake and it makes you feel wobbly, and it's just, it really does actually mess up your GODBRIDGE. When I first got really close to finishing the MC Play HD GODBRIDGE, I had my view bobbing on, and I uploaded my, complaint about getting so close, and I was like, oh no, I was so close, man. And everyone was like, turn your view bobbing off, oh my gosh. And so I did, and that actually really helped me a lot, and now I have it off, and it allows for you to actually focus on your bridging and how often you have to jump and stuff like that. It goes a long way, and it really saved me. So the third and final thing I want to talk about today is probably the biggest change that I ever made to learning how to GODBRIDGE, and this is the crosshair. When I talk about crosshairs, obviously you can see on screen literally in gameplay right now, I have a crosshair. Normally for most people it's a little plus, but it changes by texture pack. But there are a bunch of custom ones lying around for GODBRIDGing and lining up bridges. That gives you a little arrow on your screen, and when you line up your GODBRIDGE, you can place that right on the top of the block, and you'll be able to GODBRIDGE so much easier. Essentially what this does is it allows you to get the lineup that you would get out of going into F3 like a lot of newer GODBRIDGers do. It allows you to get that lineup without going into F3, so this saves you a bunch of time. And when you're actually trying to become practical with your GODBRIDGes and go into Bed Wars, obviously it's very inconvenient to have to pull up your F3 menu to get the little arrows to line up. So if you'd like to use it, I'm going to leave a download link in the description, but essentially all it is it allows you to place it right on the top of the block. You line it up, I'll show right here on screen me lining it up. And it's basically just gives you a free, quick and simple way to get your GODBRIDGE all perfected and ready to go. And that way, when you're playing actual Bed Wars matches and you want to bridge to middle for your team and say you're a GODBRIDGer, right? You can actually just go there quickly and easily, and you don't have to sit there for 5 minutes while you line up your coordinates and your arrows in F3 while your friends are all complaining, and the whole game is already over by the time you start bridging. If you're missing even one of these out of the 3, I would definitely go suggest doing this right now. If you don't want a GODBRIDGing crosshair, it's okay. All you really have to do is line up the middle of your crosshair with the end of a block. And it does look a bit annoying, and I like regular crosshairs better in my opinion, but if you're going to try to GODBRIDGE, I do recommend learning how to use the crosshair at least. And then after you get more consistent, you can choose whether to turn it on or off. So to recap, your debounce time should be 4 milliseconds. Anything lower is bannable on a lot of servers, and you really don't need it lower than that, to be honest. Mine's on 4 and my GODBRIDGes are fine. The next thing I want to recap is that you want to have your view bobbing off because it brings your screen to a very shaky state, and you don't want that while you're bridging. It's very inconvenient, it looks ugly. And honestly, it's not worth it to have on because it brings a lot more distractions than anything else, and it really doesn't provide anything to your regular day-to-day gameplay either. Definitely would take that off. And obviously the last most important thing, of course, is our GODBRIDGE crosshair. Link will be in the description, of course, because I really want you guys to try this one out because it's been a lifesaver for me, and I got asked a couple times how I got it. So that's going to be in the description, of course. But other than that, I really don't think I have too much more to say here. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider subscribing if it was helpful to you at all. And if you don't want to subscribe, that's completely fine, but maybe comment something you learned. And if you don't want to do that, just leave a like on the video, or don't. I can't control what you do, but I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.